Hey guys, welcome to the next video of the video series I'm doing on this CLA after owning it for 6 months. So if you watched my last video on practicality, I'll leave a card waiting around somewhere here if you haven't watched it. I went over some of the more boring points of this car. So today's video is all about performance and handling. And before we get going, I thought I'd show you the driving modes that you can choose from in the CLA 45. Just start the car. Sorry if there's a lot of noise right now, it's just done a cold start, so basically the valves and everything are open and the engine basically runs almost 1000 RPM higher than at just idle. You've got 4 driving modes and in my opinion 2 of them are pointless. I only use 2. Just turn this off. The standard one is comfort, which you'd use when you're in a traffic jam on the motorway, taking it easy, that kind of thing. I don't particularly like it in terms of how the transmission behaves. It's quite annoying. The next one to the right is the sport mode, which is the useless one. Don't know why it exists. Basically they should have just gone from comfort straight to sport plus, because what sport does, it look, if you pop it into sport, the gear changes are slightly sharper, throttle's slightly more responsive, still in automatic mode, and the traction control's on. In that setting the sports exhaust is not on, so you don't get all those pops and bangs and crackles that a lot of people buy this car for, which defeats the purpose really of this sport mode. So what you've got to do is switch to Sport Plus. What that does is again makes the gear changes even quicker, throttle's even more responsive, but the performance exhaust and everything, that's all turned on. But again, the transmission setup is onto automatic. When I drive this car, I generally like using, you've got these fairly nice paddles, paid for them, you might as well use them. So when I'm not in comfort mode, I don't actually use Sport or Sport Plus, I use the individual setting. And what I've done with this, I've set it up so that it's Sport Plus, the traction control's on, but the gearbox is into manual straight away, so it kind of saves you 1 second to look down and press this button down here. And it's not difficult going from comfort to Sport Plus, but when you're switching between the two a lot, why make your life any harder? Just go for the easy option. So for anyone that does enjoy using the paddles and shifting gears yourself, I'd recommend you just set up individual so that it's basically Sport Plus and manual. The only time then you'd need to use Sport Plus, although I'm not too sure, I've got to try out, is if you want to use the launch control, and that's the only other time that you'd ever need to use Sport Plus. Otherwise I just basically switch between I and C. The first thing I want to show you guys is how well this car sticks to the road. Going in search for a large roundabout that's fairly quiet and I can push a little bit. The roads are slightly damp because it just rains all the time where I live. As you know, this car's 4-wheel drive. Very generally, if you've got a front wheel drive car, they tend to understeer as you push them close to the limit, and if you've got a rear wheel drive car, they tend to oversteer as you push towards the limit. This is kind of somewhere in between. You've got to really fire it into a corner to get it to understeer, and to get it to oversteer you've kind of got to, as you're going around the corner, give it quite a bit of gas to get the back end to stick out, but it's almost like a snap oversteer, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. The traction control system on this is absolutely brilliant. The only time I can actually get traction control to kind of step in is off the line, and that's just in first gear and only when it's wet. Never had the traction control light coming on, when I'm accelerating hard in say 3rd or 4th gear, no matter the conditions. One thing I'll demonstrate, right, off the lights I will floor it, and it doesn't struggle for traction at any point whatsoever. In my 1 Series, my 116D, yes, it had been 5th gear. We're approaching a tunnel right now, and it's a ritual that, you know, I have to do this, so apologies. Right, so we're approaching this roundabout that I was talking about, and I'm going to try and demonstrate it, see if we can get it to do it. About to let go on you. The biggest difference in terms of grip will be the tyres, and you know, the standard tyres on CLA 45s and A45s are Dunlops, and they're crap basically. The moment it comes to changing them, people get something else, Michelin's, Pirelli's. You know, that's something I'm going to do at the moment. The tread runs out. Why people complain? I think they're pretty hard, and they do complain that there's still some understeer. So, you know, handling as I think as it is right now, I think it's pretty good. So if people say, you know, there's a lot more, I was going to take you guys down some country lanes, and they've closed the road. Never ever seen that before. Right, so what I'm going to try and do is head back round and search for some different roads. I woke up early for this and everything. In the updated 380 horsepower models, which this is, they changed the gear ratios, especially lower down, so gears 1 to 3, so that it's a lot more aggressive, it gets through the gears quicker, and that's contributed to the reduction in the 0 to 60 time. You can definitely notice that with, you know, you can notice the power and the torque. However, if I was being critical, in gears 4, 5 and 6 and 7, the pull isn't that great. You know, I know this car's got 380 horsepower and that's a lot, but it's just nowhere near as impressive as the car in the early gears. You know, the acceleration in those lower gears is just absolutely brutal. So off the lights or accelerating hard out of a corner, the car feels amazing. But you know, say you're on the motorway, gears 4 or 5, you do notice, you can't really say it's a lack of power, it's just a lack of pull. And this car doesn't have loads of torque, it's just over 300 pound-foot I think, which, you know, isn't amazing, but it's enough. What do I think about the suspension? Now, this is a sports car, so it's meant to be stiff. However, I think it's a bit too stiff. You know, I mean, it's not supercar stiff or anything. I think it's just a bit unnecessarily hard. In terms of smoothness, these roads, they're not great, but they're not as bad as some country roads, and that's where the suspension might irritate you a little bit. If that's something that might get on your nerves, there is an option to basically get the adaptive suspension. How much softer that might be, I'm not too sure. You'll have to check it out for yourself. To actually really notice the understeer, you're going to have to take it to a track. And let's be honest, how often are you going to do that, if at all? You know, I've not tracked this car yet. The steering is pretty direct. You know, I've got no issues there whatsoever. there we have it, guys. A quick summary of the handling and performance of the Mercedes CLA 45. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below for future content. Cheers, guys.